Third phase of moon.
Welcome back to Third Phase of Moon. We're live, taking your calls from around the world. If you've seen a UFO, you've got a UFO experience, share it to Third Phase, the world's largest UFO channel on YouTube in regards to the phenomenon. The number to call in is 340-934-0378. Just yesterday, I spoke with Congressman Merrill Cook from Utah, along with Dr. J. Andy Elias, in regards to the breaking news that happened over the Ukraine. A Malaysian flight was taken out by what? A possible rocket? That's what they're saying over there. Who shot it? We don't know. The Malaysian flight MH17 crash is a tragedy, and I asked the congressman of what he thought of the, what I call a conspiracy, the Malaysian flight conspiracy. Now that this happened in less than 6 months, coming from Malaysia Air, breaking news once again. What's going on with this airliner company? Are they in cahoots with this big conspiracy? The first Malaysian Flight 370 is still missing. Nobody knows where it's at. And now a second one, major tragedy, and a congressman is baffled. Everybody take a look. Third Phase of Moon YouTube. The Merrill Cook interview. Congressman speaks out about the Malaysian conspiracy. We're going to be taking calls from around the world right now, live on Third Phase of Moon Radio. If anybody wants to chime in on what their thoughts are over there in the Ukraine and what happened to this latest tragedy, the Malaysia Flight MH17. Wow, again, shocking news coming in from the Ukraine and the Malaysian Airlines. What's going on over there? We'd sure like to know, and hopefully one day we'll find out what happened to Flight 370, the biggest mystery of the decade. Let's go to area code 435. Welcome to Third Phase. You're live. Tell us where you're calling from. What's your name?
Hi, Blake. This is Mike Hanna from Duchesne, Utah.
Hey, Mike. How you doing? How's Utah? We spoke with Congressman Cook over there. Are you familiar with him?
Yes, I am. I write to him every now and then about UFO experiences, and believe it or not, he writes back.
Yeah, great. He's he's an interesting fella. He's was at the Washington, D.C. citizen hearing on the UFO phenomenon and got to hear a lot of eyewitness testimony, and he was pretty much shocked about what he heard over there, and that we go into that theory. He believes that Putin was behind this. What do you think?
What I think is that the world cabal, I call them the 200 that run the whole planet, these people want to keep the world at war. That's how they make money. And they're using their terrorist play card right now. They're playing the terrorist hand. And in my opinion, this is all planned out just to keep the world at war.
Don't you think it's kind of strange that Malaysian Air is involved in two incidences now within 6 months? Don't you think it's kind of like reminiscence of the 9/11 tragedy when the second airplane hit the tower? We knew it wasn't a mistake at this point. Now we know. I think this is the same revelation that this shoot down with the same airliner. Now there's something two going on, and over 500 dead.
I believe that the Malaysian Airlines is owned by the state, that it's a state-owned company, and they would have every reason to want to be at war. I believe you're watching people being sacrificed for the darker side of humanity, and I really believe that we're going to see it here in the United States. I think we're going to see it, and I think our biggest threat is going to come from the drones. You know, TSA can catch them at the airport, but nobody can stop the drones, and that's going to be our next big problem. You watch and see if I'm wrong about that.
Well, the FAA is trying to regulate them, and I believe that for videographers, it's a really amazing tool. You have a God's eye. You can capture amazing visuals, but then obviously there's going to be a militarized version of this thing, and once they get those up and operational, which they probably are, but the police really want to use the drones, and they don't want the citizens to use it. So how is this going to work out? Probably not in a good way.
Right, and it's so cheap to use them. I mean, you don't have to be sneaking around or anything. I mean, you could be outside the airport and load one of those with an explosive and fly it right into an aircraft. And I mean, it's that easy. You just think about the world terrorists and how bold they are. I mean, this has got to be too tempting for them.
Absolutely. These drones could be put in the wrong hands and used in an evil way. I believe that drones are going to be a future that we're going to have to be dealing with, and hopefully it's used in a good way. There's all kinds of benefits with drones. We could pollinate farms.
Absolutely.
We could deliver medicine and do all kinds of things, even movie making. I think that's what the best thing about it is that the visuals you could get. But a lot of applications for good out there, but definitely the evil ways of man can distort it and use it in a way that could be devastating.
Absolutely. And I believe that we're in the middle right now of a terrorist activity. You know, the United States has some really weird technology. Like Anonymous says all the time when he calls, I don't think he means to be negative, but that voice-to-skull technology is real, and it really hammers away on people. And I believe they've got sleepers in our society, and they're just waiting to wake them up. This stuff's been around so long that you know there's people that are programmed, and it's a pretty scary time to be living in. And we really all need to stick together and keep the light on, you know.
Absolutely, Mike. You stand by. We're going to take some other callers from around the world. Appreciate your comments, and definitely it's something to keep an eye on. Let's go to area code 619. You're live, Third Phase of Moon. Tell us where you're calling from. What's your name?
Hey, Blake. It's Kelly from San Diego, and I actually agree a lot with everything that's been spoke about tonight. Also, if you think about it, to introduce it to society too as well, thinking that's like everything's okay. Amazon is over in San Francisco. They want the capability to deliver packages that way with these airplanes or whatnot to deliver packages and low flying aircraft, I guess, like a drone or something. But they want to use those things in San Francisco, and actually they're pretty close to getting that sign as well.
Well, I think there's great applications, like I was saying earlier, and Amazon wants to get a clearance from the FAA. They believe that they will, in order to get packages delivered to you within minutes versus waiting a day or so. So there's a good application for that.
But how do we know that's just something that they might introduce to, saying that, people used to having drones around, and, they could, so then by doing that, they allow the police department or, any other government department to just keep spying on us anyway.
Well, Kelly, let me ask you, you have a cell phone, correct?
Correct.
Well, you put yourself in the same kind of situation. It's kind of like, do you want technology, or you really can't have your cake and eat it too at the same time? Unfortunately, you're being tracked right now via GPS, and who knows what kind of things they have in those cell phones. So when they introduce the drones and do it in this way, is Big Brother working at its best. We're even doing this radio show on the Internet, and apparently Putin says that the Internet is a CIA experiment. So we're all part of it. It's hard to break away.
That's true. Cell phones is a tracking device, like an electronic leash. But also with Putin, that idea, they're thinking that there's also a conspiracy that they were trying to take down Putin out of the aircraft and actually chose the wrong aircraft.
Well, absolutely. We just received today that we're going to be sharing on Third Phase of Moon. And, hey, I'm going to put it up on this radio show when I showcase this radio show. We got permission. Let me get to my Gmail so I get my permission credit in. But it's an interesting video. While a man was flying his drone and he captured some kind of UFO just shoot across the sky. We're not exactly sure what it is. We're going to zoom up on this as we look at this video right now. You're going to see it exclusive on Third Phase of Moon tomorrow, probably when we post this video. But let's see, it comes from from Movement Productions, and he is filming. Let me see. I'm having a hard time finding it right now. I'm going to get his credit in the description below, and let's see here. He said that he's not into UFO conspiracy, nor does he spend much time on the subject, but he had no idea what the footage was. He didn't modify it in any way, and he asked us if we had any logical explanation of what these objects are in this video, and I say it could have been maybe a meteorite. He captured a meteorite in broad daylight, but it's interesting. It's definitely unidentified, so there it is. From Movement Productions, we'll put the credit in below. Let's go back to Shane, Utah, and tell us again about these drones. Do you think it's going to be, it is the wave of the future, we are going to be having to deal with it? What are the ramifications, good or evil?
Well, I really believe there's a place for them. But as I say, I was in the military, and I can understand the mindset of these terrorists. And the world is playing them to stay at war right now. And it's just, I can just see it coming. It's just too easy for them to do. However, like you said, there's a really good application for them, and I believe they should be used. Also about that Flight 17, is everybody aware that there was over 100 scientists on board that airplane and researchers for the AIDS virus? Perhaps they killed those people off. Perhaps they killed those people off so they can go ahead and stop the research for a cure and use it to spread the virus even more. I know that sounds crazy, but they're dead.
Major loss in the AIDS community of these researchers trying to find a cure for it, and then all of a sudden they're wiped out. Again, even in Flight Malaysia 370, correct me if I'm wrong, wasn't there some high-powered software designers that were on Flight 370, and people are saying that's one of the reasons why it's missing and, messing with the future?
Well, what I heard is that there was a command center for our drones that we use that was on board that airplane, and that it was going to be hijacked by somebody else, and that we took control of it, and that it's lost because of that technology being seized. I don't know if that's true or not, but I heard that from the State Department. I have a friend that is high up in the State Department, and that's what he told me, and he was surprised that I knew that.
Very interesting. We spoke with Dr. Stephen Greer, and we're going to be putting this exclusive interview that we had with him last week. We're just working on this breaking news matter right now. But he claimed that the government's behind all alien abduction encounters. What's your thoughts on that?
Well, I'll tell you what. When they took me in 1975, I can't see that was anything from the Earth, man. I mean, there was no humans on board at all. And the way that they did it is so profoundly different than anything I've ever encountered as a human being. It was really frightening to me. But after the little gray took my hand, I'm telling you, man, I calmed right down. And I've never had that experience around human beings. And so unless they're in cahoots with our government and technology exchange and things like that, if they had some type of connection that way, maybe Stephen Greer is right. But these guys were not from the Earth. I can guarantee that.
Well, that's good to know. We're, as well as you know, we're working on a movie right now. It's called Hangar 52, and it's in regards to the alien race of Greys, Draconians, what happened in 1947. It's a thrill ride, and I really can't wait for you to watch it. I'm wondering if this alien encounter that you had, on how similar this alien we have in our movie, how you would compare it to your experience. And I'm definitely looking forward to getting your review on that. You stand by. We're going to take other callers from around the world. Let's go to area code 618. Kevin Bear's with us. Welcome to Third Phase Moon.
Oh, yes, Kevin from Illinois. I just want to say, we got the drones as an issue, but they're going to end up being a lot better. Remember back in the day, or none of us really remember, but our grandfathers remember when we went from being like horse-drawn carriages to automobiles, and like everybody's like, oh no, this is bad, this is horrible, or whatever. The drones might be bad for now, but they could end up being better later. So, the government has the power that they have, but the thing that we all have to remember is that they're all human, and that they can be influenced by their wives and their children and their spouses and everything else. So I invite everybody to not be too dramatic. and not get too carried away. Sure, the wars are happening and that we've lost a few airlines and really coming out of Malaysia. I'm really trying to understand why it's like, the headlines for that. So my 2 cents is we need the drones to help us be better. We went from horse-drawn carriages to taxis, and now we're going to drones to deliver the things that we need. I see it as an improvement. So that's my 2 cents. Mr. Blake, any questions?
Well, I like your that's why we have this discussion on Third Phase of Moon. We like to get both sides of the theories, and I think everybody that's spoken tonight, nobody's wrong here. There's just the opinion of the drone that, yes, it could be used for nefarious reasons, but then I think one of these days that we're going to be in harnessing ourselves in these drones and getting around a lot quicker, and I'm thinking that possibility is just pretty much right around the corner. What's your thoughts on that?
Exactly. We will be improving.
Well, that's what we're looking forward to, is the improvement for mankind. And but there is a surveillance out there and security, and I've seen some of these drones in action and how they pretty much come into people's homes, where they'll come in on one sustaining device, fly in, and then all of a sudden it departs into maybe 20 different drones, fly off of this thing, and then start to swarm the area and invade different rooms in surveillance. And it's a good thing for criminals and law enforcement when you're going to go after a bad guy and you don't know what's behind the corner and you send these robots in. It's a lot better than sending in a human being or even a canine watch police dog. But bad guys, go after the bad guys, and the good guys, let us do what we want to do and keep our privacy. That's for sure. What? Go ahead.
Blake?
Yeah, welcome. Area code 952. Elizabeth?
Hi, Blake.
Hey, welcome to the show. I know you sent me a photograph just recently, and may I share it on Third Phase of Moon?
You definitely may, but please do not use my name.
Absolutely, absolutely. I heard there was a loss in your family. Am I correct?
Oh, yeah. You must read my page.
Well, I want to send our condolences your way on that, and very sorry to hear that. Thank
you very much. Just been a hard week. Yeah, you like my picture?
Well, it's definitely interesting, and we want to get everybody's opinion on Third Phase Moon of
what.
Gosh. Well, that's the way it is. Everybody's got an opinion. We know that's why you come on the show.
The trolls, the trolls are out there, and they just have to bash me and whatever. But my pictures are real, and anybody can blow them up and do whatever they want. I did not see this in the picture. The site that I belong to, a girl found it in the background of the picture. I've had this picture for quite a while. I've got a bunch more. I can share with you, Blake, but I just don't like being bashed on the site.
Liz,
I know I shouldn't take it personal, but I do.
It's hard. You got to have thick skin when you're claiming as big of claims that you are, that you're capturing alien beings and flying saucers, and that's the nature. People are going to be, sometimes skeptic and even not go overboard and be rude and ignorant, and because they don't know, question everything. People get into that case if they don't know what they're dealing with, and that's just. I know.
I need to let it go, but go ahead.
You gotta let it go. That's why people like you and people, all Kelly and Mike calling in, they want to share their stories, their insights. People that say they've been abducted, close encounters, they get into real detail. They want to share it. It's a community, and that's what Third Phase of Moon's about. So you got a lot of backup following as well, Elizabeth.
I've been contacted by the Arcturians.
What do you think's going on in this picture, Elizabeth?
I really don't know. The picture, before that picture, is a bunch of orbs that was taken during the day. I don't know if you've ever seen them through my page with dogs. And in the background, somebody saw this being in the background, in the trees, and it's in my neighbors, and it's not a person. It's You know, I live next to old people, and just kind of freaky. Just it's what it is, and I'm not claiming anything. I'm just showing the picture. I'm not sure what it is.
We're going to share this photograph. We're going to get in close. We're zooming it up right now. We're going to share it to Third Phase of the Moon on tomorrow's show, exclusive on Third Phase of the Moon YouTube. Elizabeth, thanks for sharing your incredible photo. We're going to analyze it. Hopefully people can tell us if they've seen something similar to it. It looks like an entity. You've captured a couple entities over there. And again, Elizabeth, keep sharing. Keep your eyes on the skies. Let's go to another caller from around the world. Let's go to area code. What's it? Area code 111. You're live. You hear us? You're on air. Welcome to Third Phase of Moon. Area code 111. Dennis?
Are you talking to me, Blake?
You're on live, Third Phase Moon. Yes. Yeah, I'm talking to you. Yep, you're live.
Blake.
Yes.
You hear me?
I hear you, loud and clear. Go ahead.
Oh, this is 949. This is a old buddy, I guess, Mike from Dana Point.
Hey, Mike, welcome to the show. Appreciate it.
Yeah, did you see what happened over there on the 18th of June? Over in DP and San Juan Capistrano, they're claiming and stuff.
Where are you going to be?
Did you see any of the videos that I posted? I tried to get them to you and your brother, taken from San Juan Capistrano and Dana Point on the 18th of June.
Yeah, we might not look at every single video, but I'm pretty sure I look over 99% of them. If you want to resend it right now, we could take a look at it and review your video. Most definitely.
I'll send it back to you. But I actually requested the night before that I just got to my space and said, look, I've been through a lot in my 50s. I, like Elizabeth, I do take everything pretty personal because that's what drives us, is to try to help other people open up their eyes. And I said, I'm kind of tired. I'm going to bed, but if you don't mind, I would really like to see a sign tomorrow night right here in front of my house. If you guys could just show up and freak some people out and wake them up, that would be great. And right on cue, they came and they kind of put it on the air. They came right over my house, and it was two huge white stars that became 14, and the whole freeway stopped. And amazing how that stuff never makes mainstream news. But
if they do, they'll laugh about it and chuckle, tongue-in-cheek kind of attitude with all sides.
I was kind of surprised, though. Pat Harvey of Channel 2 Los Angeles actually put more time than they usually do, and I thought that was kind of cool. And then about the next night, 14 of them showed up. And every night now, with my new infrared and portable light observation attachments I have to a Bushnell relatively simple but effective telescope, I've been seeing at least openly with my naked eye over 60, 70 travelers transiting every night. And then when I looked at the moon, I stopped at over 100. And I am looking at different applications to make sure that they're not on the same course, the benign course of regular satellites.
We've been talking about drones all night.
Yeah, drones and everything. But you know what, brother? It's just too many. I mean, in plain sight. It's just amazing, the amount of activity. And for as long as I've been part of the whole process, which has been over 40 years, I have never, ever seen the amount of activity that I'm seeing right now. And the real increase is not only the blatancy and the frequency of ships and objects, it's the...
even in Dana Point, it's not like it's an overpopulated areas like Los Angeles.
You know, I almost feel like no break. It's kind of like a no-no area that was kind of agreed to because of the nuclear power plant that was strangely deactivated 2 years ago, a year and a half ago, and Camp Pendleton. They're right next to us. But we ain't got nothing like this, brother. We ain't got nothing like this. And you know what's really amazing is not so much just the frequency and blatancy in your face with crafts. It's the amount and types of creatures that are now being reported. It's off the freaking chart, man. Anyways, I just wanted to say hi to you and your brother. It's always nice to talk with you guys. And stay. I know you guys got the movie going on and a lot of stuff. You guys are amazing, amazing brothers. But, you know, take, like you said to Elizabeth, take all the bull crap and flush it down the toilet. If it's yellow, let it mellow. If it's brown, flush it down. But you guys are really doing a great job. And like you say, hey, not everything is going to be authentic. But those that have done their work pretty much know that you guys are just in the business of putting everything out there and leaving it up to the viewer to make decisions. You're really trying to take the burden of proof off of yourselves and rather just provide a medium for people to communicate and submit and relate and discuss. So to all the naysayers that give Third Phase a hard time, kiss my ass. Thanks, brother.
Hey, man, I appreciate it. And, you know who
I am, brother.
Absolutely. There's a lot of ufologists out there that claim that they know everything about what's going on and they have their insights on this and that. But I don't think they've to the people and the public like we have at Third Phase Moon and shared as many videos that have come in. You think in this business you're going to get it 100% right all of the time? Absolutely not. No, but
we're just trying to get right as a group. You know, we're all just trying to make the best judgment we can. It's like you can be my neighbor and you can think this and I can think that. But until we get together, it ain't ever going to get better. So people need to put down the rod and pick up the telescope, man, and open your eyes. Shut up, look up, wake up.
Absolutely. Appreciate the call-in all the way from Dana Point, California. The insights, the callers are calling into Third Phase Moon. That's the community that has been built on its own. It's a phenomenon. It wasn't a plan that would be like, oh, we wanted to be the largest UFO channel. We just started sharing incredible UFOs, getting permission from the people that shot them in a journalistic way and put it out to the people and share it to the world and let the people decide. Let's go to another caller calling into Third Phase, part of the phenomenon. You're on live. Go ahead. It's yeah, you're on.
Yeah. I had a very recent sighting. I went to Mallorca last week and I actually saw a UFO that was disguised as a plane, but it was like really large.
So tell us where you're calling from, and where did you see this?
In the UK. This was at Mallorca, Spain. So I went there last week on holiday, and from my hotel I was like looking towards the main city and where the airport is, and I'd say good about 5,000 to 10,000 feet in the air there was a huge, like really big white orb. I'd say if you were to put like a couple of planes next to each other and spin them around in a circle, that's how big like what the white orb was. And then there was like a smaller blinking red orb that overlaid it, but it was just way too big for a plane.
Yeah, so definitely, what do you think it was? Did it disappear? Did it take off?
Oh no, it dropped to the ground in 10 seconds. Like it literally just dropped. No plane or helicopter could do that. It literally just free-falled.
Wow, incredible. What about any other eyewitnesses alongside you while this was going on? Any reaction from the media the next day?
My mum saw it. She was like, "Oh, it's a plane." I was like, "If someone was that big, do you see any of us like that?" I was like, "No." There's planes in and out of there that I thought like every few minutes. Like there was no way. And the flight to the airport goes right across from the top of the island. This was dead in line with the bottom, and it literally just dropped. So.
Wow, incredible. Tell us, what do you think about this breaking news that's been going on? What were you thinking in the back of your mind when you saw that there was another incident with the Malaysian Airlines? Did you think for a split second, I thought for a split second, this is Flight 370 and it's back and now we know exactly what happened and is used in some kind of, weaponized. But then I later found out it was another airplane that shot down. But what do you think of the similarities?
I think there's something more to it that they're not telling us. I mean, it's a bit coincidental, like you say, same airline, always like specialized people on there. So I haven't really looked into this one that much, but it is very unusual. So.
Hey, appreciate you calling in and sharing your story all the way from when you're on vacation in Spain. If anybody saw something that day or has captured anything from Spain, UFOs, where Shared is on Third Phase Moon. We're coming to an end right here on Third Phase, but I wanted to get some last callers in. And if I've come across you before, well, just let's get into it. Area code 213. I think you're back, Third Phase Moon. Any last statements and final thoughts?
I just I'm gonna agree with the whole Malaysian thing. Just earlier I was hearing the video on the congressman. I thought it was just a good thing to have support from people that are in the political power. Just
when a congressman comes forth on Third Phase of the Moon and starts talking about UFOs and government cover-ups, it's about as big gets as far as we think we're doing our job and getting disclosure to the world. Eric, you're live, Third Phase Moon. Any last statements?
Sure, Blake. Just thank you very much, and you guys have a good night, and I hope the people and the families, I pray for them in the Malaysian flight.
Absolutely, Elizabeth, and thanks for sharing your incredible evidence as always, and condolences to you and your family. Area code 111, you're back.
Yeah, hey Blake, thanks a lot. Elizabeth, I wanted to say keep the balls of steel. It takes that to go through what you're going through. Believe me, there's a lot of people here supporting you. Blake, you guys are doing a kick-ass job, and I really would just like people to pull their heads out and know that this is not a state. This is not an opportunity to act the fool. It's an opportunity to prove that we have been being fooled, and everyone should thank the Cousins Brothers and Blog Talk for getting this out and allowing us to confirm what we see and know that we are not the minority. We are just the suppressed. Thanks, guys. Have a great night. Aloha.
Thank you so much. Again, aloha back. Open lines. The lines are open. Any last statements? First one to talk is on. Go ahead.
Hey, Blake, I'd like to get your address.
My address. I'll reply on your Gmail, and I'll get it back to you.
Yeah,
please do.
I want to send you something.
Okay, sure thing. Sounds cool.
I want to send something to your wife that I make. So.
Hey, Blake,
absolutely.
Kelly from San Diego. And I just wanted to say thanks for a good night show. And also, as well, I was hoping we could talk about maybe next week we can talk about that big crater that happened over in Siberia. What could that be? Maybe looks like to me, in my opinion, looks like something's coming out of the earth instead of going into the earth. When they were saying it could be a meteorite or it could be a crash UFO, I don't know. But to me, on the other side, could be something that's coming out of the ground that's maybe already lived down there for many years. Anyway, everybody have a good night.
Thanks. We'll be looking into that hole that's making the internet sensation. We're not exactly sure what it is. We're going to keep a close eye. Definitely Third Phase of Moon is going to be putting updates on that. We're on top of that. Any last words by the last callers?
This is Mike from Duchesne. I just want to say thanks, Cousin Brothers, for what you're doing. It's helping all the people who do have these encounters. I'm talking to lots of people out here, and there's lots of good things happening in Utah, and there is a lot to see. You guys keep your eyes to the sky and try to keep a camera with you, because they're out there. Have a good night, everybody.
Thank you so much. You just took the words out of my mouth. Just like you said, you know what to do. And if you capture it, and you capture it on video, and have encountered it, share it with us on Third Phase of Moon. Share it to the world. My name is Blake Cousins, and we'll see you again.
Third Phase of Moon. Third Phase of Moon.
This is the largest UFO wave we've had in Pennsylvania in 35 years.
What's going on in Bucks County? Total mayhem.
If that was a plane, it would have fell right out of the sky. You want to find that wow image, the one that's going to say, look, we've got them, they're here.
Did he saw a very, very unusual phenomenon.
If we can validate the story, what we have is an unidentified object in that airspace.
UFOs exist. What is not certain is what they are. The Mutual UFO Network, or MUFON, watches the skies, investigating sightings soon after they occur. Their investigators use the tools of science, psychology, and law enforcement to get as close to the truth as the truth will allow. Unidentified flying objects definitely exist. Only their identity remains a mystery. The mystery of UFOs over Earth.
I'm excited. I'm excited that they're coming. I'm excited they're at my back door. I am waiting to see what the culmination of all this is. It, to me, is something that is at the forefront of a breakthrough.
When they're talking about a flap, essentially what you have is the occurrence of a number of sightings in a fairly short period of time in a given geographic location.
Most UFO sightings occur with an individual. They happen, then they're gone. Once in a while, you get a mass sighting. In 1997, was seen by the governor of Arizona. But flaps are rare because they can last for days and sometimes months.
And then one day, just as quick as it starts, it stops again. And nobody knows why. So you want to take advantage of it. You want to look into it as quickly as possible.
This is the largest UFO wave we've had in Pennsylvania in 35 years. We normally get 8 to 10 sightings a month. We get 63 reports in July. There were 25 more in August, 32 more in September. Why all of a sudden is Pennsylvania seeing all of this? Something's going on.
Even though there are different days and different times, we're seeing a description of some very common objects.
The activity that we're looking at right now is about 7 times more than the usual. We put together all our information so that we have a map of all the sightings. A lot of people have reported different objects, and it's interesting to note that these objects vary from a cylinder-shaped object to a boomerang to a spear.
All it was a white ball of light. So I ran inside and I grabbed my astronomer binoculars and I honed right in on that son of a gun, and there was no structural features at all. It was just a white, pure ball of light.
I've only been investigating for MUFON 4 months now. I'm out here to figure out what the hell's going on out there.
It was about
shaped kind of